Here is the patient's background. Her name is Adriana Balkis binti Ciad, born on 11 April 2001, and she is now 22 years old. She is 159 cm tall and her weight is 80 kg. She has no disease history and her most recent injury is a sprained ankle. We move on with history of patient injury. This patient got her injury on May 2023 when she practicing Ninja Warrior wall. This is happened because she did not reach the top of the wall and sliding half down and then jump into the wrong position and sprained the ankle and the ankle flipped eventually. The part of the ankle pain is on right ankle from upper ankle to plantar and the level of the pain is 5 out of 10.
I will continue with introduction. Gait and posture are important aspects of human movement that affect our daily activities and overall health. Gait refers to the way a person walks or moves their limbs while walking. It includes the pattern and rhythm of movement, as well as the speed, stride length, and the amount of force used while walking. Posture refers to the position of the body while standing, sitting, or lying down. It includes the alignment of the head, neck, spine, and limbs, and how these parts of the body work together to maintain balance and stability. Good posture involves keeping the body in a position that puts the least amount of strain on the muscles and joints while allowing for efficient movement and breathing. Proper gait and posture are essential for maintaining balance, stability, and reducing the risk of falls and injuries. Poor gait and posture can lead to various musculoskeletal problems such as back pain, joint pain, and even headaches. Therefore, understanding and improving gait and posture are critical for improving overall health and well-being.
Alright, so I'll be explaining the Gait cycle. So the Gait cycle is divided by two. First, the stance phase, and the second, the swing phase. So the first component in the stance phase is the heel strike. So what is the heel strike? The heel strike is the initial contact of the foot with the ground. So with our patient, during the heel strike, the right foot of the patient cannot make normal contact with the ground due to the ankle injury. She suffers pain when putting contact to the ground. Alright, so let's move on to the second one, which is the foot flat. The foot flat is when the entire foot comes in contact with the ground and gradually the weight of the foot or the body transfers to the stationary foot. During this phase, the injured ankle causes limited ability to achieve a foot flat position, leading to the altered weight distribution and decreased in stability. Alright, so let's move on to the third one, which is the mid stance. During the mid stance, the body weight is primarily supported by the stationary foot as the other foot lifts off the ground. So during the mid stance, the injured ankle results in reduced ability to support the body weights effectively, causing compensatory movement and increased pressure on the other areas of the leg and foot. Alright, so let's move on to the heel off. The heel off is when the stationary foot begins to lift off the ground, preparing for the next phase. During the heel off, the patient cannot do the heel off properly and make contact with the ground, as the pain of the ankle sprain increases and pressure through the foot and leg. Alright, so now we'll move on to the toe off. The toe off is essentially the barrier between the first phase, which is the stance phase, and the swing phase. So what is the toe off? The toe off is when the stationary foot pushes off the ground, propelling the body forward. So during this toe off, the patient cannot produce much force to propel itself or to propel the foot during the push off due to the limited mobility and the weakness of the foot. Alright, so the next one is the mid swing. The mid swing is when the foot passes the body's midline. During this, as resulted of the ankle injury, the client has a shorter stride and length and reduced forward momentum due to the pain and limited range of motion of the ankle. The swing of the Alright, so let's move on to the last one, is the deceleration and the toe strike. This is when the foot begins to slow down as it prepares to make contact with the ground, and the toes of the swing foot touches the ground, completing the Gait cycle. Alright, so during this phase, the injured foot lands with caution and reduced force to minimize the discomfort. The toe strike is compromised due to the pain and altered foot positioning. Alright, so let's move on to the postural assessment. So usually when someone has an injury on the right side of their ankle, the body will ultimately shift to the left side due to the body trying to reduce the pain and supporting the right foot using the left side of their body. So the posture will move to the left side, but our client does not have that issue or symptom due to the long period of time after the injury. So other than that, the client does not have any postural abnormality related to the ankle injury.
And now I'm going to continue with basic component of walking gait. First and foremost, the basic component of walking gait is divided to two phases, which is stand phase and swing phase. Stand phase is about 60% of the gait cycle. It explains the entire period during which the limb is carrying weight and is in touch with the ground. This stage starts when the foot first make contact with the ground and ends when the ipsilateral foot lift off the surface. Next is the swing phase. The time when the foot under consideration is not in contact with the floor is known as the swing phase. The time when the foot under consideration is in touch with the floor is known as stand phase. So now we move on the stance and swing subphase. A stance subphase consists of heel strike, loading response, or also known as flat foot, mid stance, terminal stand, or other name is heel off, and finally is pre-swing or toe off. For the swing subphase, on the other hand, consists of initial swing, mid swing, and terminal swing. Next, I will explain the stance subphase. First, we have heel strike, which means the heel of the foot make the first contact with the ground and is the first phase of double support. Second, we have loading response. Loading response happen when the entire foot come into contact with the ground as the weight gradually transfers to the stationary foot. Mid stance is when only a single leg is supporting the weight of the body. Next is terminal stance, which include lifting the heel off the ground. This is when we start to shift the body weight onto the contralateral leg. Last is pre-swing. In this last part of the stance phase, it consists of putting the toes into the ground while the ankle plantarflex to produce forward motion. The swing subphase start with initial swing. Initial swing happen during the foot is lifted from the ground. After that is mid swing when non-weight bearing leg pass directly beneath the body and pass the weight bearing leg. And finally is terminal swing. The foot is moved to a position in front of the body, then the knee will extend and momentum will decelerate.
Next, I will proceed with recommendation for ankle injury. So the first, you need to get used to walk in good posture and proper technique. First, keep your heads up, swing arms properly, keep your shoulder down and back, and step rightly, which is from heel to toe. And after that, you need to do some exercise and workout, which is seated heel raise you can do, single leg balance, and also glute bridge.
In conclusion, gait and postural analysis are important tools for evaluating human movements and identifying any abnormalities or issues that may be present. Through the use of various techniques and technologies, such as a motion capture and force plates, healthcare professionals can gain valuable insights into a patient's movement patterns and develop effective treatment plans to help improve their overall function and quality of life. By addressing any gait or postural abnormalities early on, individuals can reduce their risk of developing more serious musculoskeletal conditions and maintain their mobility and independence for longer.